I'm pro-choice, sure. I'm definitely against late-term abortions because we can actually show that after a certain point, a fetus will develop a brain.
So when do you think this, what age?
I think the scientific consensus on that is around the end of the first trimester. So
why can you abort them up to 9 months?
You can't abort them up to 9 months because, no. Again, most laws that are for abortion go, well, let's say that it's legal. Most people agree that a human, and again, this needs to be defined more, which is why it's important to discuss and not just shut everything down. But a human being, if you want to say, for a person under the law, well, you need to have the neurological development necessary for a child to understand, or even, because it's not really understanding, to even have the ability to say, well, this is where the line's fuzzy, because before that, it's really a group of cells that is a part of the mother. And if you don't believe that it's wrong to, say, do an organ transplant, then how can you say that it's wrong to, remove an organ which would be detrimental to the mother's life? Because you have to also consider the fact that in not every case is a child going to have a good life. I know that there are a lot of people on the pro-abortion side that like to show videos, not the pro-life side, sorry, of people who have survived abortions and whatnot, but the fact of the matter is that not every baby who's going to be born is going to have a good life just because they happen to...
Yes, but there is adoption.
There's adoption, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean that the baby's going to have a good life.
Not necessarily, but it at least deserves a chance. Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Again, I have to say that you can't, if you're going to approach this from a secular viewpoint, which I think you have to, especially when it comes to laws, you can't just say that there's some arbitrary metaphysical entity, I guess for lack of a better word, that suddenly makes the difference between a human and a cluster of cells.
Yeah.
You can't make that distinction.
But just because it's under underdeveloped, because my brain is less developed than, let's say, a 20-year-old, 30-year-old. So should you
But can you form permanent memories?
Yeah.
Can you think? Do you have a conscience?
Yes, but
those are all examples of things that happen with neurological development. Consciousness comes from a more developed forebrain, and memories form. Well, permanent memories don't form until you're around 3 years old, so you could make that argument if you knew about the biology, but you don't. I would say that, well, you make short-term memories too, and those are probably more important than from brain development. You can tell when a baby has formed those regions of the brain through science to be able to determine when it becomes its own entity and not just a part of the mother. Because for the most part, babies, well, fetuses, are controlled by the mother's body until their brain can develop enough to, even their hearts are controlled by just, it's not controlled by a brain. The first heartbeats are controlled just sort of from a, what's it called? Involuntary muscle spasms, I guess you could say. But it's not, there's no real brain, and you can't really classify it as a separate organism until much later in its development.
I'm not really the first trimester, how many weeks would that be?
Well, 3 months.
So, at 10 weeks, you can clearly see that it's a baby human.
You can see it, but that doesn't mean it's
a cluster of cells.
You might be able to see it, but the problem is that you can't call it a separate organism.